Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Career Mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day today. We continue on from the end of the pandemic into returning back to some normalcy as we're coming off of Cole Custer's first career win. Last episode of NASCAR's return in Atlanta, and now we head to the East Coast. We are in Miami here this weekend, and we're back behind the wheel of the Chip Ganassi number 42 as we are scheduled to drive this car for at least the next two events following today's race, and then we will very likely either be missing a couple races or we're going to hopefully maybe be able to ink a deal with Spire while Ross Chastain jumps into this car for a few races, and hopefully we can maybe get some more Cup races under our belt. But there's still going to be some races that we don't get to take part in for sure now, as qualifying at 33.319 puts us way better than what we were in Atlanta with P24 here, and pretty happy with that now, and feeling like, again, much like Atlanta, we should be able to work our way forward. And how about Rocket Man Ryan Newman, 52nd career pole in the NASCAR Cup Series, as rounding out the top 10 is Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. Cole Custer there in P20 over fellow rookies of Bell and Reddick, and then myself in 24th, as well as you see the rest of your qualifying order. And all the way at the bottom there, you got Chastain, Poole, Fincham, and LaJoie as we get ready to go racing Sunday afternoon. We're ready to go racing then here Sunday afternoon from Homestead Miami Speedway. A beautiful clear day in the sky as we are ready to take that green flag. Now, Corey LaJoie in the number 32 did not have a good practice session, so look for him to maybe not run so hot now, which is not really that unexpected. Eric Almirola looking fast based off of practice, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as well, having a stellar weekend so far. We'll see if we can continue that in that number 47 Chevrolet Camaro this weekend.
Originally scheduled for March due to COVID-19, moved to June. That means two things: heat and humidity.
You've really been strong here the last 6 races. I think, 6 or better. So what are you looking for today? How challenging is it going to be this time of year?
We got plenty of challenges ahead of us without any practice, but...
And we're ready to go green now in this McDonald's 42 Chevrolet Camaro for the Chip Ganassi Racing Team. Lots of rookies around us as we're ready to roll. Let's go racing here from Homestead Miami. Ryan Newman, Martin Truex Jr. lead the field to green. Truex one win on the season, of course, and that was the one race that we didn't get to take part in, Auto Club. Truex was able to pick his first win up on the season there as we were in that West Coast swing. Now as we'll head down this back straightaway, and we had a very up and down, kind of debut for Chip Ganassi Racing in Atlanta. Of course, we are splitting time for the remainder of the season with Ross Chastain in this 42 car, following the suspension and then firing of Kyle Larson after he used a racial slur during the pandemic and unfortunately lost his ride. So Kyle Larson is definitely going to be in the market for, he's a commodity. A lot of teams are still going to be looking at him for 2021. It'll be interesting to see, as the season progresses, which teams are going to be pursuing Kyle Larson, because right now no one said anything, but he's going to be a driver that's going to be sought after by many teams in the garage now, as on lap 2 of 27 here in stage 1, working our way all the way up to the outside wall and trying to work our way forward very quickly. Of course, no practice anymore following the pandemic, so we're going all season long without a lap of practice as a Cup Series rookie, and that's going to make things challenging, but we're doing a good job working our way forward. We did a great job at Atlanta, got a top 15. We even turned some heads as well. A few drivers, including Dale Earnhardt Jr. himself, actually talking about myself on social media and how he was impressed with the drive that we put together without any practice and whatnot. And of course, he's probably going to be part of the drivers that do kind of kind of endorse me because I do drive for him in the Xfinity Series. And speaking of the Xfinity Series, we actually picked up our second win of the season in the Xfinity Series this weekend as well in Homestead, Miami. So well on a path to fighting for a championship now. And once we get towards the playoffs, and we as well for races that we aren't doing Cup Series races in, we will cover a lot more of the Xfinity Series and actually like show the races. But in the playoffs as well, we will keep a lot more up to date in what's happening in that Xfinity Series, because that is where I am fighting for a championship. That's where I am accumulating points. Right now, you know, we're not racing for points here as a current rookie in the Cup Series, as a caution is out and is already the 73 goes around into turn one after losing a tire. That's JJ Yaley. Caution is out for the Play Fast Motorsports driver, brand new team to the grid this season, and they bring out the first yellow for cause. Everybody will stay out here and get ready to go back green. A good start to this race here. P18 is where we find ourselves after qualifying outside of the top 20, and as we retake the green flag here, now it's going to be lap 9 of 27 in stage 1, so a lot of racing still remains here in this first and opening stage. Clint Boyers at number 14 Mustang, their Ford Mustang that is to my inside, and now my teammate of Kurt Busch to my inside here as we exit through, or not quite the exit yet, but now exiting turn 2. Ryan Newman continues to lead now. Ryan Newman picking up his 52nd career pole position now. He's got 18 career wins to his name. Could today be maybe career win number 19 for Rocket Man? That would be absolutely fantastic to see him pull that off here. But, I mean, going to be very difficult for him nonetheless now, as of course we've seen, you know, a variety of different winners this season so far. And you talk about this last episode, you know, Cole Custer picking up the win for the first time in his career with only a handful of starts under his belt. Ryan Blaney kicked off the season with a Daytona 500 win. Of course, we talked about Martin Truex Jr. winning an Auto Club. Brad Keselowski, I mean, let's look at the last couple of races for Keselowski. He won in Phoenix at the expense of Denny Hamlin's misfortune, but then as well in Atlanta last episode finished runner-up to Cole Custer. So Keselowski kind of emerging as an early season favorite here in that Discount Tire Penske number 2 Ford Mustang. At least in my opinion, he is. Now, of course, a lot of racing to go. We will see the momentum shift around for many drivers now. And, you know, one of the drivers that's, of course, hoping for a bit of a shift in momentum maybe is that 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Been kind of a, you know, kind of just an average season in terms of the last couple of years so far for him now. Nothing special. And, of course, in his final season of NASCAR Cup Series competition, you want to see Jimmy Johnson in the playoffs. You want to see him fighting for a championship now, but there's no guarantee that's going to happen, as we'll get right up on the door of this 48 of Jimmy Johnson now and work on passing him down into turn 3. As Hendrick Motorsports, got to wonder, you know, Johnson leaving, are they going to look at a guy like Kyle Larson going into 2021, or will they kind of shop around elsewhere? As we come through to halfway now through this opening stage, and now working our way almost into the top 10, but I caught the outside wall on the exit of turn 2, and well, part of being a rookie is you're going to probably make some mistakes. And once you get into a bit of a faster car, I mean, these Chip Ganassi cars aren't the fastest in the field, but they're faster than anything we've driven in the first few races, from a Spire 77 to a Rick Ware Racing number 52. As we have now still got ourselves in the top 15. We got a new leader as well, the 22 of Joey Logano. Of course, won a championship right here a few years ago in 2018 as we get a big run to the back of Almirola. Look to the inside of the Smithfield number 10 Ford Mustang for Stuart Haas Racing. How about Stenhouse? They talked about it in the pre-race, looking pretty fast this weekend, and here he is up here in the top 15 right now, and that number 47 having a very solid run for that team's usual potential. And again off turn 2, lap 17 this time, catching the outside wall, so making some mistakes, and you know, definitely feeling like the car is a little bit too loose to be up here. And I was just trying to get a feel for what I needed, as we're actually closing in now on green flag pit stops. But I definitely knew after hitting the wall a few times that not because I was tight, but no, because the car was kind of sliding around, and then I was kind of chasing it up the racetrack. That's why I was catching the wall, not because I was plowing into the wall. So I already knew we were going to have to adjust on this number 42 McDonald Chevrolet, make it just a little bit tighter, as we're only a couple laps away from pitting now, and we're also only a handful of laps away from the end of the stage. We got 2 laps of fuel. No one should be able to make it to the end here, so it's going to be a bit awkward. because everyone's going to be pitting, and then we're going to going back out on the track, and we're only going to run 3 laps, 4 laps, if that. So making some headway, though, on the inside here now, passing the pair of Stewart-Haas cars of Almirola and Boyer, and Christopher Bell having a great run for the Levine number 95 here, as we'll get alongside Bell here into turn 3. I'm expecting to see some pitters this lap right here, and sure enough, we see a lot. In comes the leader of Logano and many others. Ryan Newman stays out. We're going to stay out for one more lap alongside Christopher Bell, and at the end of lap 24, here comes the number 6 of Ryan Newman coming in. We're going to follow through as well, as Brad Keselowski's up there coming in as well, and so does Christopher Bell. So we come in, we make some adjustments on their tire pressures, and most notably going from 50.0 to 50.2 on the wedge. There goes Newman, there goes Keselowski. We'll come out here right in front of the 95 of Christopher Bell with a 15.1 second stop. There goes Logano, who should take the lead. Down the back straightaway, I would imagine. Hamlin's right there with him. Blaney blows a tire, knocks the wall down right in front of us there, and that's going to bring out the yellow, and oh my goodness, the AI just beelined it across the track, and because of the caution timing, we get P9. How about that? We're in the top 10. Ryan Blaney's going to come into the pits here for a new tire and some repairs, of course, as Ryan Newman's going to get credited with the stage win now. I mean, perfect timing for a caution, because we would have been probably 12th or 13th right there once that cycled out. But of course, the caution just came out right in the middle of losing the positions, and that ended the stage. So stage 2 now, the sun starting to go down, the cloud cover starting to build, and the green flag is back out. Ryan Newman, Joey Logano, your front row. Logano is probably going to feel a bit robbed that he did not get that stage win, and you know, stage wins so important in this format, because every stage win you pick up, that is 1 additional playoff point to your name, and then of course a race win equals 5 playoff points. So you can pick up as many as 7 playoff points in one race if you were to kind of just dominate that race now, as Ryan Newman leads the way currently on this opening lap here of stage 2. You got 28 laps of racing in this second stage now, and again, we're kind of flirting with moving up the racetrack now. I feel like, you know, the inside line I can make kind of work on a restart, and then I can kind of just hold serve with other drivers, but when I move up the racetrack, I can actually build up that momentum down the straightaway and then actually make moves into the next corner instead of just holding stationary, you know, around the cars that surround me. So you can see the run right here down the back against the 19 of Martin Truex Jr., and as we head down into turn number 3, Ryan Newman continues to lead over now Denny Hamlin, who moves into P2 with that FedEx Toyota Camry. Now Hamlin looking for win number 1 on the season. 37 wins to Hamlin's name so far. We talked about it recently, tied with the great Bobby Isaac. Has not been able to get to victory lane, of course, for a few races now. I mean, spanning back to Phoenix 2019, I believe. Now as a caution's out, my teammate Kurt Busch blows a tire, and unfortunately that's going to be race over for Kurt Busch, as everybody's going to stay out from the looks of it here, and we'll get ready for a restart now. And well, this is going to once again, I feel like, kind of put us into a bit of an awkward scenario with the pit window, kind of similar to what we had in stage 1. Only time will tell, though, as it's going to be Newman, Hamlin, Logano, Kyle Busch leading the way. Back to green flag racing now, and the last time we came to Miami was in 2019, where Kyle Busch in the season finale picked up the win and picked up his second NASCAR Cup Series championship. Of course, we come to Miami much earlier in the season now, and we also know, of course, you know, at the end of the year, Miami is no longer the finale for the championship. It is now Phoenix Raceway here for at least 2020. Only guaranteed for the 2020 season. There is a chance NASCAR has already been talking about, of course, even though there is some uncertainties because of the pandemic right now, it does still sound like we will be going to Phoenix at least for only 1 year, and then we might go to another venue for 2021 and beyond. So we'll wait and see, but I look forward to, you know, 2021 hopefully not being Phoenix, because I'm hopeful in 2021 we'll be in a competitive car full time and fighting, you know, to be in the playoffs and going for a championship, especially when we're putting drives like this together. I am fighting in a Chip Ganassi 42 alongside two-time champion of Kyle Busch, and here's the 2014 champ of Kevin Harvick, as we head down into turn number 3, really scrapping it out with these guys, making this outside line work until I wasn't. Into the outside wall, just overdriving the corner. That time it wasn't loose, no, I just overdrove the corner and blew it straight into the wall now as we drop down into 8th place behind Busch and Keselowski as well, and caution's actually out. That's good timing, as it's Stenhouse tire down on the 47, and we've got a few drivers electing to pit, but I am deciding to go with the majority. Joey Logano would also end up pitting and giving up the lead of the race to Denny Hamlin, who's now joined on the front row by Hendrick Motorsports number 88, Alex Bowman, who's been very quietly up here in the conversation today as we're back underway now, and you get the view from the spotter's stand. So now we know Joey Logano and Stenhouse, who crashed and brought out that caution, but he does get to stay in the race. So we got new tires and got fuel as well. So Logano and Harvick and a few others all have borderline enough fuel to make it to the end of this stage, actually, after seeing this. So that's going to make things interesting now, because nobody else is going to be able to make it. If you didn't pit right there, you cannot make it to the end of the stage. Now, as you can see, only one car against the wall, and that's myself. Now, Kyle Larson fired from the number 42, but you wouldn't know because we're running the same line that Kyle Larson has made famous in the NASCAR world in the last handful of seasons. Now, as Hamlin has the advantage over Newman, Bowman drops to third, and how about the Levine family Racing number 95 of Christopher Bell, who's up here running up towards the top 5 as well. A great run for him and showing right off the bat that he is the guy to be at Joe Gibbs Racing in 2021, and do not be surprised if the worst performer at Joe Gibbs Racing loses their seat in 2021 to Christopher Bell. As of right now, it's looking like it's going to be Lower Accurate and be the 20 of Eric Jones as we're big time loose out of turn 2. We slide until we hit the wall, and now some more damage done to the right side of this McDonald's Chevrolet. We stay green for now, but still struggling with the handling of this car, with just the rear end continues to step out on us, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. I mean, we'll I could run the same exit out of turn 2 5 times, and then it goes just fine those 5 times, and then the 6th time it just decides it's going to step out from me. It just completely catches me off guard, and now I was just hanging on now with the damage over Johnson and Bell here, hanging out in the back half of the top 10 with just less than 10 to go in stage 2. Around goes the Exalta 24 into the outside wall. William Byron, big impact, and caution is out, and that is big for us now. Everybody can make it to the end of the stage now. Logano and others that pitted on that last yellow are going to stay out. We make a wedge adjustment to tighten up the car just a little bit more. We don't want to go too far, even with how loose we've been getting, because if we go too far, we're going to regret that even further. So we'll get repairs, we'll get 4 tires, we'll get fuel. We'll lose 6 spots here to those guys that did stay out, including Logano, Stenhouse, Harvick, LaJoy, just to name 4 of those names, as it's going to be only a 3-lap shootout here in stage 2. Now Joey Logano took an alternate strategy, and it's given him the lead of this race. Clint Boyer is another one that stayed out, and I believe the other one is the 19, Martin Truex Jr. actually there. So that was the 6 names total, and look at LaJoy dropping like a rock now, and right in front of Brad Keselowski. That's going to ruin Keselowski's stage as we head down into turn 3. Logano running away. We know Logano's strong, so it's not a surprise to see him running away from all the other cars that are on the same tires as him, and they're all holding up, Newman and Hamlin and Busch, Bowman and Bell. And here I come into the conversation here into turn 1, and right here behind the FedEx Toyota 11 and out of turn 2 down the back straightaway, we're going to go 4 wide down the Spanx Trench, coming to 1 lap to go here in stage 2, and all of a sudden we're going to be in towards the top 5 as we round 3 and 4 now, and Logano's already got the stage on lock. Nobody's going to run him down as we exit turn 4. Logano taking full advantage of everyone else that was on the same strategy as him. 1 lap to go here in stage number 2 now. Boyer going to cover us off into turn 1. Look at behind us. You got Ryan Blaney, who brought out a caution earlier in the race there in stage 1 with a tire failure, is now following me through traffic, as all of a sudden we're setting ourselves up brilliantly for the 3rd and final stage, because I don't think anyone that just pitted is going to pit again here at the end of the stage. I think we'll all stay out. Meanwhile, Logano and the other guys that just stayed out should be pitting as we come through 3 off turn 4. Joey Logano, playoff point to his name, wins stage 2, and we come through to cross the line in the 2nd position. What a fascinating end there, and sure enough, you see it right there. Logano, Boyer, Stenhouse, all the guys that stayed out are going to come into the pits here for tires and fuel, and everyone that pitted under that last yellow, including myself, will stay out now, so we've only worn 2% on each tire, and now we will be leading for this restart here to kick off the 3rd and final stage with a little bit over 30 laps to go here from the Dixie Vodka 400. What a race. What a race this has been so far, and as we get ready to go back green flag racing now, it's going to be just over 30 laps to go here from Miami now, and a great launch down into turn number 1. You're going to have to hold off some big names here like Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Ryan Newman, Ryan Blaney. How about Chris Buescher from Prosper, Texas, up here on the conversation now? A population of about 30,000 people cheering on the man in the Fast and All 17 Ford Mustang for Roush Fenway Racing as we head down into turn 3, clear of the 17 and clear of the field. And can we drive away from these guys now as we head down the front straightaway and without strategy, leading our first proper laps here now as a Cup Series rookie? How about it? 34 laps to go here from Miami now, and what a story it would be, you know, in just a handful of starts, just kind of like Cole Custer did, to come out and win. I don't think we have the car to do it, but we certainly have the track position right now. And as these laps would progress, Ryan Newman would move up in a second over Alex Bowman, Keselowski, Blaney now your top 5. Denny Hamlin kind of stuck in traffic right now, trying to work his way forward as we come to lap 63 now, coming to 30 laps to go. This time Ryan Newman is closing in on me, and we get loose again out of turn 2. Are you kidding me? And that's going to knock the right side down on the car, and through goes Newman. And just when we thought we were driving away, it's been a race of kind of rookie learning, to say the least, because we have made a lot of mistakes of just losing the rear of the car and then, you know, sliding into the wall now. And we would immediately jump up back to the top where it felt like I wasn't having to chase the car around the track. And at this point now, Keselowski's to my inside. Keep in mind, we're probably not going to be able to maintain our track position very easily because of the fact that we now have damage on the right side of the car. But here comes Alex Bowman now. He's trying to take P3 away from me. Chase Elliott in the background in the Hooters, number 9, trying to go forward as well as we're just kind of burning these laps at this point. I was holding on a lot better than I thought I would, considering the damage that I picked up and the mistake that I made. But now Kyle Busch has run us down here for P4, so we'll jump to 5th now. And Kyle Busch is absolutely rapid right now, and starting to wonder, is Kyle Busch going to be able to go to victory lane now and go back-to-back in Homestead Miami as we do fight back down the straightaway? That's where the strength is from this run off the outside, is you can at least fight back down the straightaway, where if I run the bottom, the best I can do is kind of hold stationary, and then I don't have a run down the straightaway. So we give up a little bit of time in the corner, you know, on the top, but we gain a lot of it back. We gain more than we lose down the straightaway that we lose in the corner. So it's definitely a positive now. Car on the wall, and that's the 00 Starcom Chevrolet Quinn Half, who's going to bring out the yellow, and that was a yellow I really wanted, because now we can get repairs and make another adjustment to tighten up this car just a little bit more, as we've got just over 20 laps to go. That will be the 4th DNF of the race. We'll restart P5. Now here's the curveball, if you want to call it a curveball. Still, nobody can make it to the end of this race on gas, so we are going to have to come in at least one more time. It's going to be green flag racing. Could this be the final restart of the day? 20 laps of racing to go, and we can go 17 to 18 laps on fuel, as Eric Almirola is actually splitting 3 wide between myself and Kyle Busch. Now Busch not going to be thrilled with that one, as he'll drop back as we head down this back straightaway. Ryan Newman has led at different times throughout this race after starting on pole position, and here he is out in front, leading the way over Brad Keselowski. We talked about Brad Keselowski earlier as well, being, you know, the last 2 races, a win in Phoenix, a second in Atlanta. As of right now, runs second again as we head down the front straightaway. How about again Alex Bowman having a great run, as Kyle Busch has rallied back on the top line to pass both myself and Almirola, but now he's stuck behind the 88 Valvoline Chevrolet of Alex Bowman, as Hamlin in the background getting the work done, I guess you could say, on the top. Ryan Blaney just in line behind myself as well into turn 3, and gonna kind of chop his nose a little bit, not really intentionally, it just kind of happened, as we actually do drift up the track, but fortunately do keep it planted enough on the bottom to cover off this number 12. And now a lot of these faster cars are kind of consuming me, and I just we're starting to get a bit of a reality check in what I thought, oh my goodness, maybe we could fight for a win today, but no, it's in reality not going to happen, as now Logano gets to my outside. He passes me as well, so then I eventually finally do get up to this top lane, as everyone else is running the bottom. Alex Bowman's the only one not right on the bottom, and it's because he's got a car car to his inside, and that's Kyle Busch, who's moving up into third position now as Ryan Blaney passes us. We drop the 9th. Here comes Chase Elliott and the Hooters, number 9 as well, to my inside, as I am just kind of holding on at this point, trying to score my second career top 10 in the Cup Series, and it would be my first top 10 that's not in the Daytona 500, so not a super speedway. Now as the caution's out, and Ross Chastain in the number 77 Spire Chevrolet in the wall, and everyone's going to stay out because this caution will now guarantee us to get to the end of this race. So as we get ready to go back racing here now, looks like Chastain is still in the race, and let's hold on waiting. Yeah, I don't see him in the pit lane, so Chastain continues on here as we'll follow the Penske duo. All the Penske cars running great inside the top 10 here now so far from Miami. Now Brad Keselowski, what a move, 3 wide to the inside for the lead on Newman and Busch, and that's going to project the number 2 Discount Tire Ford Mustang to the control car of this race down the back straightaway into turn 3. What a move from Keselowski, now looking for a career win 32, which would break the tie between him and Kurt Busch, who are right now both at 31 wins to their NASCAR careers. As we come up on 11 laps to go, will we stay green from here? Will this be the final restart of the race? Like I said last time, I think this one will be the final restart. I think we're going to be racing this one out to the end. Alex Bowman trying to go through to the inside of Newman to take P2. Logano ready to pounce as well behind the 88. How about Eric Almirola and the Smithfield number 10 having a great run as well as we head down into turn number 3 now, and watching Newman kind of start to fade a little bit now, running up the racetrack, and he's going to lose out to Bowman. He's going to allow, at least Logano to the inside. Kyle Busch will settle in behind him for now as we come to a lap later, lap 84, 10 to go, and we've just kind of been holding on to the back of this top 7 group here now, with Denny Hamlin being, smack dab right in front of us now as Keselowski is actually moving up the racetrack, and that would briefly allow Alex Bowman to pass him, but then Bowman would go up to the top, and Keselowski got back to the bottom, and now Brad Keselowski goes back into the lead of this race now, bringing Eric Almirola with him. Blaney just behind us around into the outside wall. Caution out again, and this is going to create a late race restart. Jimmy Johnson's a lap down. What's happened there? It looks like a mechanical issue maybe has struck the 48, and is Jimmy Johnson out of this race? Hold on a minute. We should be getting the free pass, but I'm not sure. That 48 might be done as we get ready to go back green. Green flag out one more time. There it is. See the smoke on the left side. That's Jimmy Johnson in the pits. Johnson with 4 to go has an engine issue, and it's going to be race over for the 7-time champion. That's going to be a huge hit in the points now. 4 laps remain. Kyle Busch 3 wide, middle line between Logano and Newman as we exit turn 2, headed down this back straightaway, and Brad Keselowski clear and trying to run away. He's looking to become the first multi-time winner this season, as I'm going to jump all the way to the outside wall and try to make this 4 wide with Hamlin, Busch, Newman as well, but Hamlin and Busch get through on Newman and Harvick, and so we end up just 3 wide now, as you can see Almirola now with 3 to go, 3 wide on the outside now as Keselowski continues to cover that inside line. I think if the pass is going to happen, it's going to be on the bottom line here today, so Keselowski just really doing his best to cover that as we head down this back straightaway. Loose contact with the 6 now. We save it now, and coming to 2 to go at this point now to the inside of the Smithfield number 10 of Eric Almirola now following Ryan Newman through, and it's that number 2 again of Keselowski who continues to cover off the 88. We talked about the significance of this win for Keselowski, would put him 1 ahead of Kurt Busch, a 2004 NASCAR Cup Series champion, and of course get him to that 32nd win, just a few behind Denny Hamlin. Can he do it here today, or is it going to be Alex Bowman who picked up his first career win in Chicagoland last season? Well, let's find out. 1 lap to go here from Homestead Miami. Who's going to get back here first now as we're to the outside of Ryan Newman? What a race it's been for us inside the top 10 in this Chip Ganassi Chevrolet, now running up here with the legends of the sport like Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Hamlin, Newman, and others as well, all champions of the sport. But Brad Keselowski, your 2012 champion, has the field covered into turn 3 and 4 for the final time. There's a lane for the 88, but it's not going to be enough. Down the front straightaway, Brad Keselowski, career win 32 here from Homestead Miami. How about it? Your first multi-time winner this season. Congratulations to him and the Penske team, and as well, if you are a career member on the the 2 car, which is only one career member on the 2 car, and that is the first toilet. So the toilet becomes the first multi-time member winner of this career mode as well. What a race, what a finish, what a scrap. And I think we really impressed some drivers and some NASCAR media people today. And hopefully we can keep doing that on, route to hopefully getting a full-time ride as Denny Hamlin leads the overall standings. Ignore me, of course, we're not full-time, so that doesn't even matter. So we will be out of that top 16 as we'll pay more attention to the playoffs as we get closer to that. That does it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching and have a great day.